Yo, what's going on, guys? Gonna be showing you how to hyper carry on mobility tempo Evelyn. Evelyn is a massive tempo snowballing champion. Her true late game is honestly terrible right now in this meta. Even if you have Gathering Storm, Absolute Focus, full stack to Maj, her late game is honestly just unplayable. So you need to be playing for the early mid game, getting as many Heralds and Dragons as you can possibly get. And currently in the meta, there's really no jungler Evelyn can solo pre-6. Whether it's Udyr, Warwick, Graves, Kindred, Zac, Nunu, doesn't matter. If you're equal HP or if they're ahead of you, there's absolutely no way for you to really solo them pre-6. So for our runes, we took Predator, Sun Impact with Eyeball, Ultimate Hunter, Celerity, and Water Walking. The whole goal of this is to get off as many successful ganks as possible, not just any ordinary ganks. And yeah, and stack up our Mej as much as possible as well, because stacking the Mej is very important for snowballing the early mid game, getting the Darksteel stacks rolling. Evelyn, you're usually going to be looking to do a full clear. Since we have Predator, we can actually do a 3 camp clear. That works fine. But I'm thinking that we actually have a lot of gankable lanes. There's an Ignite GP, there's an Ignite Echo. So we should have a lot of gank opportunities here. We're going to go ahead and get a point on our W. You can run double Q before you get your W. It puts you at more risk. If you get invaded or lose a camp, you won't be able to gank without your W. You won't have any form of CC. Moving on to our red buff here. Try to move around in between your attacks. Pull it to where you want to go. Ideally get in the bush so you can see whether or not you're about to get giga cheesed. Just trying to avoid some attacks while I'm letting the charm proc. You always want to try to use your Q and your E on the monster. Get them on cooldown before you use your W. That way you're taking full advantage of your cooldowns, because your W is a very long cooldown. You can't use your W more than once per camp anyway. So if you're leading in with it, you're just missing out on a ridiculous amount of damage, and that'll slow your clears down. If you lead into every camp with a W, you're sitting there waiting to attack, not applying your jungle item burn or anything. You should be finishing full clear with leash around 315. Should be around full HP with a refill left if you're doing it right. Takes practice, but you'll get better at it the more you do it. Not seeing the GP here. We don't have electrocute, so we're missing out on a little bit of damage here. I'll wait for a second for him to show up. I don't want to fight Set on Scuttle. We're not going to win that. Orin's kind of scaring him away. Gangplank's probably waiting for the set. He's sitting there with a barrel on his head. We still have our E to use as an auto attack resetter, and that's what we did. Once our auto attack was on cooldown and he was starting to fold out of range of our auto attacks, we smacked him with the E because the E has more range, and Evelyn empowered E also brings you to them. Great job on Orin getting his flash out early. This is a beautiful back. On your first back, you're always going to grab Boots first, Darksteel second, and then you're going to build into your Hextech Rocket Belt. You could also go for Chem Tank. It sounds Giga Troll going Chem Tank, but it's actually a good item. We could still go Chem Tank this game if we really want to, because our team, think about it, Action and 𝗕𝐂𝐀𝐀, they have more than enough damage combined for our team. We don't need me to do damage. We just need me to not get one shot by Pyke, Lucian, or Echo. So we still have the Chem Tank option, but normally you're going to be going for Rocket Belt. Potential gank bot side since we have Predator. Which way are the minions moving? I don't think we can gank it because Lucian's low and 𝗕𝐂𝐀𝐀's shoving, so I'm not going to walk over there. If 𝗕𝐂𝐀𝐀 wasn't shoving, I would definitely go, but I'd be getting there right about now, and look where he is. That's not gankable. I'd be there right now, and Lucian's already pulled back underneath turret. I wouldn't have space to get behind him. So I'm glad I didn't go over there. Gotta be able to read the waves. Echo, he doesn't have boots yet. What is the wave looking like? It's looking kind of gankable. Wave's pushing towards Action, but Echo's out of mana, so Echo's probably backing right now. So that's bot side. He hasn't reset to get his items yet. I'm on my way top. Orange should just not push here. GP has no flash. We both know that. So now what we're going to do is Predator and walk right out at him. We're going to get our W down. We still have our E. We let him have it. Orin wasn't really ready for it, plus GP react decently, so wasn't a kill. I think I went in when Ornn's pillar was on cooldown, so he didn't really have a way of following up there. Because Gromp's down, I don't want to go too deep for walls. We could just reset. Blue's up at 44, or I could go for Krugs into reset here. Ornn left his wave in a silly spot. Can't really gank that. He just left it pushing into GP. Now we're going to look for tier 2 boots. Sork shoes or lucidity boots. Sork shoes are really good on Evelyn just because all 4 of her abilities are just pure magic damage. That's really the only reason. Lucidities are decent. Lower cooldowns, especially for your R. Sometimes I go Swifties, just depends. If they have a bunch of slows, like a Nasus, sometimes it can be worth it. But normally, Sork shoes are the highest value for right when you hit level 6, which we're about to hit here in a minute. Usually hit level 6, 7 minute 30 or sooner on Evelyn if you're ahead. You need to be taking, or let me rephrase that. You need to be sharing your teammates' minion waves after successful ganks, or if they need help pushing. By pushing that in, you'll be giving yourself 80% of the XP, and they get 80%, just about. Bot lane, Lucian and Pyke still have pretty much full HP. That's gonna be hard to gank. I need my bot lane to stop pushing for a second. I'll ping them on my way. We have Predator up, and our R, this should be big. Pyke's trying to force something too. We're gonna charm, W. Went in with our ER, didn't quite have the damage. At the very least, we did get Pyke flash. Our damage output was actually shockingly low there. I thought we would do a lot more. A lot more than that to Lucian. I guess it just goes to show our build's pretty low damage right now. Even if he has 0 HP, 0 magic resist items. I have Celerity water walking. I can just run away from him. Jeez, getting away is kind of hard though. With Pyke doing stuff. I don't know why action's not going in here. Should just auto him. Spazzed it out, jumped away. 𝗕𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋𝐒 panic flash. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty sloppy. Action. Oh, I don't know why he didn't just auto attack there. He must have not have realized that they just creamed all their abilities on me and that they didn't really have anything to fight him with. Is what it is. We're waiting for our Predator to come back up. Can look for a gank maybe top side. Best follow-up we've gotten so far on our ganks is from Ornn. Everyone else so far hasn't really reacted. Yeah, this looks free. I think GP Flash might still be on a cooldown here. When did he use it? Around 3:15. It's actually probably up. W Predator. If we had R, he'd be dead, or if Ornn did anything. To be fair, GP did have his orange. Pop refill. Oh, Set already took this. He's like, he's gonna be on blue or something. Dude, I don't know where this guy went. Apparently he's right here. I might die or have to use flash. If Echo rotated, he didn't really react. Slow reaction speed right there. Could maybe kill Echo. Just tier 1 boots, no HP items. We'll charm, hit him with blue smite, auto attack, QE. I mean, we got his ignite. That's got to count for something. Oh man. All right, Lucian. We're caking so much, but none of them are actually materializing. Set's really forcing this here. He burned his flash. All I had to do was R. Echo's looking for a kill still. Put a W on this guy. The Action can just sit there and hack on these guys. Yeah, this guy's dead. We just kited that out a lot. We didn't take too much damage to get focused too hard. We dodged the Pyke hooks, which are pivotal. Since we have tier 2 boots and celerity, it makes it a lot easier. We have 4 stacks on our Dark Seal, and we can actually afford to get some damage here. on our rocket belt. We'll start to snowball really hard from here. We haven't bothered to take a dragon or herald yet, just with the way the game's been going. I haven't found a great opportunity to do so. I would like to. Scuttlecraft's coming up bot side, so that's likely going to push for that area. My bot lane's not that much farther ahead than his, so he's probably not too afraid to gank it. What I want to do is get Herald. I feel like Herald is much better on Evelyn in the early game to get that extra gold. My Predator's up in 20 seconds. GP, no HP items, no magic resist items. Probably do something here. Going for Emax second. His barrel placements are really, really annoying. It keeps getting really defensive barrels down. Yep, they get Dragon. Could have started Herald, but we had no vision. Charm, Blue Smite, Q, auto attack, E reset, down he goes. We need to stay to leech this XP, otherwise I'm just going to keep falling behind. We need to keep our levels up. I'll start Herald only because GP's dead, and we do have our R and Flash as escapes. Action has some slight prio and a lead mid lane. I'll try to pull this deeper into the pit. Give myself an easy R out. Look at that extra movement speed. 15 from water walking, 9 from celerity. That's huge. Celerity goes up off of our E. Bonus movement speed as well. Yeah, we have R, we have Predator. Could dive GP. Kind of want to gank Echo. Action's pathing away. I feel like we should grab this wave. This is basically a camp and a half of XP. I have to R back. That went really poorly, and once again he ignited me. We're getting ignited so much this game. Pyke ignites, Echo ignite. That freaking hurt. He also had good stun placement there. Now we got some damage. Here it is. Blue and Gromp are up. Our Predator's up. Let's look at bot lane. Looks like they're shoving the wave in. I'm gonna go top. Even though my Blue and Gromp's up, this 𝗕𝐿𝐴 wave management is not good for me at all. They're shoving waves but not necessarily getting the enemies low, so they're keeping them under their turret at full HP. So we'll go ahead and let them be. Plus 𝗕𝐿𝐴 has item advantage, so shouldn't really need my help. Yeah, this is an easy dive on GP, I think. Ornn's giga tanky, giga fed. We see really where everyone is on the minimap. We're gonna Predator Charm, Blue Smite, QE. And look at that, Ornn's still pretty tanky, even if he takes an extra turret shot for little reason. And I can drop my Herald, and we can finish off turret. I should have laid Herald sooner. We're not gonna get this last plate because of it, so we'll miss out on 150 gold, but we'll still get the 150. I think it's 150 for first turret gold. Or is it 300? Yeah, it's 150. I think I saw set mid, so he could be over here. I'll turn on sweeper to check for him. At this point, you can swap into normal ward or blue ward. You don't need oracles once you're level 6 and up on Evelyn. It's still nice for checking multiple bushes. Sometimes they can give yourself away if there is a ward, though. If they're paying attention, like, oh, why isn't that ward working? That type of thing. If they're really paying attention, and it's only usually an issue once you're D1 plus. Lower than that, people rarely notice or are watching the map that closely. Which is why Evelyn, she's not as good in low elo as you would think, just because since people are so bad at looking at the minimap, it's kind of like no matter what jungler you pick, you're basically invisible if you're low enough elo, because people just don't react to the words. And then in higher elo, the better junglers realize against Evelyn, you're supposed to be invading her and putting lots of pressure on her before she's level 6. So she kind of gets hit from both sides. If you're playing Evelyn, you're doing it because you're just passionate about her kit and you really appreciate the champion. You're not doing it because you legitimately think she's broken. She has been broken at times, but this season, honestly, there hasn't been a single point where she's even been top 10, top 15 jungler. Oh man, get hit by that. There's Echo. He's pretty low. I could blow his R here for sure. Could Predator W. You normally want a Predator first because it takes like a second to ramp up. Yeah, it takes a full second. So here I'm gonna Predator W if he stops running away. Yeah, he's just running away. Oh wow, he was charmed, but it let him R. That's really weird. Oh, there's someone in this bush. That's exciting. No, we just lost Dark Seal stacks. Yeah, Echo R has it up. I didn't realize it had such an animation to it. We had charmed him, but it still let his R go through, which means he technically clicked it before my charm went off. But still, the reason why I'm saying that is because normally the way it works is when you go in to charm him, let's say he R's early, his R goes off, but then you charm him after. Like your charm stays on them for, it takes two and a half seconds to materialize, and then it stays on them for 2.5 seconds. So like normally he's kind of screwed if he R's early, but there it gave it to him to where it counted the charm, but it still let his R go through. I've never seen that before, and I've played like thousands of games of Evelyn. It's kind of funny though doing that dive. Definitely wasn't worth it. They're up 2 dragons. I'll try to end this game really early with second herald. That's usually I prefer to play Evelyn anyways. Playing her for dragon still I'm not a huge fan of, because by that time it's kind of late game and then they can just get Eldar and win. It's obviously better to get dragons than not to, but if you get forced off a bot side of the map for whatever reason, you have to play for heralds. That's usually better on Evelyn. Predator W, rocket belt. Down he goes. Set's here. Set seems like he's always where I am. I think Echo's roaming over here too. Always got to be careful here. Set's top side jungle's up. Echo might want the blue. Plus he was rotating for me and Ornn. Our team overall is losing pretty hard. We've had a lot more jungle pressure than Set's given his team for sure. Our main mistake was just not realizing that not realizing that your charm can hit Echo, but his R will still go through, and then that just screws you really hard. Because then you don't have a way of killing him once his R is finished. It's a really weird interaction. It's pretty much just going to be Predator. You click Predator first, then W, then Rocket Belt. This guy has fast boots. Our Predator's already back up. What the heck? It's such a short cooldown. He was trying to steal those from me. He just did a really bad job of it. I ended up getting all of them but one. Blue has 10 KP. Holy crap. I have 10 KP as well, but she has 0 deaths, so her score looks really nice. At least we're still at 8 Dark Seal stacks. Decent. So here we're going to Predator, W, Rocket Belt. And he can't outrun us is the funny thing. He thinks he can, but as fast as he goes, we catch up to him. Ornn nearly dodges the hook. He dodges the set pull with his breath move because his breath stinks. Whip him with the R. Can we get in range to blue smite him? Nah. He dashed and then he used his second Lucian dash off the Gale Force. Got him with the blue smite in the end. I don't know where Echo is. It's making me a little nervous because he knows I'm over here based off turret vision and what I just did. There's nothing over here anyways. Looks like Echo's bot side. We'll go ahead and reset. At this point in the game, once you do have 10 Dark Seal stacks, it is time to make your final transformation, which is Mej, and then you usually go for Rabadon. if you have a 10 stack Mej, you should really go Rabadon. If you don't have stacks on your Dark Solar Mej in a meaningful way, then you usually go Lichbane second item, or even Shadow Flame. Usually Shadow Flame if they're all squishies and they don't have any magic resist, because flat magic penetration that Shadow Flame and Sork Shoes provide are particularly good if they're not building any magic resist. If they're stacking magic resist, then having a Void Staff is 10 times better, since it's percent shred. Predator's up. It's time to land a charm. Gotta get in range. Predator W. Got it. There's no way to outplay it. It's just so fast. It's so funny. Watching people try to run from it is the funniest thing ever. And your Rocket Belt doesn't expunge your Predator. So when you Rocket Belt into them, you get even more movement speed from the Rocket Belt when moving towards enemy champs. I didn't even have to use my R. This is hilarious. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this secret little Evelyn gameplay commentary guide. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Kingstix. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Looking at damage dealt to enemy champions on full mobility Evelyn, we did have the most damage dealt on our team. Pretty good considering how many assists we had compared to kills. For damage taken, we'd also taken the most, not just on our team, but in the whole game. Very happy with that. For Runes, Predator did a solid 700 damage on impact 819. Maxed out my eyeballs. Maxed out Ultimate Hunter. Celerity had us travel 8,700 extra units. And Water Walking was active for 3 minutes 20 seconds, which is a long time. In my opinion, this is the only consistent way to play Evelyn in solo queue right now. Playing her with electrocute and scaling runes just doesn't do anything with how much damage and tankiness there is in League right now. The only way to play her is just with consistent ganks and taking full advantage of the early mid-game tempo that Dark Seal and 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲 can provide for her. Other than that, she's got nothing else going for her.